Right. This is going to be a small, not a small episode, but a kind of a mini episode in a way. It's kind of an epilogue of our Series 6 stuff. And also, for the first time on The Very Best of the Worst of Thomas, is an Australian release.
Yeah.
Rusty Saves the Day. And joining us for this time, of course, is me, Thomas and Tugsman, Gianluca, Thomas, Heisel Production. From the first ass, we have Sam Angel Fox.
Hey, I'm back again. Hopefully I won't need to see my therapist after this. Like the last time.
Yeah. And for the first time, Joey, Joseph Marshall.
Hey, great release, by the way, this is.
So Rusty Saves the Day from Australia.
There's a bit of history to it. So basically, for years, you couldn't get a lot of these Series 6 and 7 episodes, and the only way to have them was taping them off TV, which is what my mum did, and that's how I had them for, like, years. And ABC finally put their foot down in 2007 after one of the last runs of, I think, both 6 and 7. They said, right, we need to do something. We're going to lose the rights to this soon. They just dumped all the episodes they thought they hadn't released of 6, although they've made a few mistakes, and the first 2 of 7. So when this DVD came out, I bought it on release day and went, oh man, I'm so excited, I don't have to watch those stinky tapes anymore. Of course, nowadays I'd rather watch the stinky tapes, but...
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, I think, is that this won't be the last time we talk about something that was released just because somebody's, like, releasing rights were coming up to its end. Mudglorious is what I'm referring to.
Yes.
Let's also admire the DVD menu here. This is
exactly, because I think the reason we chose to talk about this is not only is it weird to talk about as like in terms of its episodes, but it's more fucked in terms of its production. Just look at this menu. The Fat Controller is floating.
He is.
They literally just used the most basic key stock art they had and then did like Photoshop drop shadow. But also another interesting fact is that if you look up the barcode on like sites and when this thing was originally announced, it was originally titled Faulty Whistles, and then for some reason they changed it to Rusty Saves the Day. To be honest, I prefer Faulty Whistles. That's a better episode anyway.
And just from the name Rusty Saves the Day, we already know we're in for a shocking time.
I mean, if it was called Faulty Whistles, then it would definitely go with the minimalist design of this whole thing. Faulty, that's for sure. Even look at the episode menu. It's so basic.
Yeah.
The main menu is just basically, we have the US DVD menus at home.
And let's just note, too, this is dead silent. There's no music, nothing. It's just silence.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about the menu enough. Let's dive into this. Rusty Saves the Day from Australia. Okay, not even 10 seconds in and it's already a red flag.
It's the 14:9 aspect ratio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the aspect ratio.
Classic ABC. That's how they aired them. They like this on my recordings.
Wait, here's the interesting thing with the first episode. Jack jumps in was already on Thomas and the Jet Engine.
It was, but they didn't notice it because they listed it under the title Jack Goes to Work, so they assumed, we didn't release this one already.
Oh,
idiots.
That reminds me of Trackside Tunes, where they claimed there was 2 new stories, but there's only one because they released Rusty Helps Peter Sam as its original title, Trucks.
That's right.
I always figured that this episode is on the DVD version of Thomas and the Jet Engine, not the VHS one. So when I first got this DVD, I thought like, oh, do we have this on a release yet? They just looked at the VHS version like, nope, completely forgetting the DVD exists.
To be honest, Kid Me was happy, even though these had been on DVD before and I had them already. I was like, oh, I haven't seen these in a while. It was nice to see them again, although their reasoning for including them is a bit silly. Well, that said, it's a great episode. I love the Jack stories.
Oh yeah, I love the Jack episodes.
Oh, definitely.
Also, Thomas, we can finally talk about this without dying with laughter like we did in New Friends for Thomas.
Oh yeah. No, you're bringing it up now. It's making me want to laugh again. Miss Jenny has big jugs and wide-ass hips.
Well, those hips don't lie.
Man, that image is so nice. They should use that for DVD cover.
Oh wait, they
It's
did.
so bizarre they use this, but not A Friend in Need.
Honestly, a quick side tangent, it's weird how On Site with Thomas, despite being pack episodes, uses not a single still from any episode of the actual pack. They just use stills from these 2 episodes.
Did they ever
That might have been all they
take
could
promotional
find.
images? I don't think they ever took promotional images of the pack.
No, only like a couple of photo shoots, like they did for the Trusty Friends DVD, that's it. Like, episode stills.
I'm just imagining, like, Alfie just spinning his plate so much, and then he just, like, Oh, ow, ow, ow. I think I broke something.
I have a neck.
Max! Alfie cried.
Max has like blonde hair and glasses. He's Max Headroom.
Trying to sell Coca-Cola.
Hi, Max Headroom here with... Is this my guest?
That scene always confused me as a kid. He looks like a slithering snake.
That's just popcorn. That's popcorn right there.
We're off to see a movie.
Seeing the
He just
smile.
grabs a whole bunch. Yeah, goes to see the smile, and he just steals a whole bunch of popcorn from the bucket.
Safety first.
Very strict teacher lady. See, when these came out, I was just about to start school. I was like at the end of preschool, and I remember whenever Miss Jenny showed up getting cross, I was like, "Oh, strict teacher."
Strict teacher with mother-bearing hips, huh?
But see,
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ!
They'll never get old.
I'm guessing, considering how these DVDs usually go, we're probably not actually gonna get A Friend in Need after this, are we?
no. In fact,
No, that would make too much
No.
sense, wouldn't it?
if I remember right, we're gonna get another episode that was already released.
Oh, it's only
What?
snow. Yeah.
Yeah, because that for some reason that was on Engines to the Rescue, our only Series 7 release until the complete Series 7 DVD.
Yeah, I never
Until
got
this
that
one.
with Series 7.
I don't know why
Yeah.
they never did any more DVDs or videos, because they aired the crap out of 6 and 7 on ABC.
Right?
It makes no sense.
Oh. You notice how dark the sky was at Marin, though, when they showed that shot?
Oh yeah.
Sure enough, that night the wind blew.
I always liked that show.
Secret reused shot.
I used to have a Mandela effect where I thought Angela said Edward was right. It did snow.
Crack jacket is back, motherfuckers.
Oh god, I knew you were gonna mention the jacket. There you
I
go.
can't unnotice it now that you keep
Exactly.
talking
Yes.
about the damn jacket.
We'll have to try
That face is so weird!
I know, right?
Guy's face is just like, oh. I still wonder to this day, how does that happen?
You know what this reminds me of, and you're all gonna feel like physical pain and cringe, right, when I say
Oh
this?
god.
What?
Say it.
It's like when you stub your toe and your toenail rips off.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's as bad as me comparing Thomas Goes Fishing to having tapeworms.
Oh, it's okay. Pi here can relate to that. He had worms when he was a puppy.
Oh, poor pie.
Oh.
I don't think you've ever had that happen to you, have you, Link? At least I don't remember.
the next day.
Oh, hey, you know what? If you want to be a complete a-hole and just go to the subscribe to the theory of Thomas and Duck hate each other,
Fuck
take
off.
that.
The thing I mentioned about Fat Controller's
Whoa, what the
jacket.
hell?
How the hell do we know that, like, it's not, like, you know how when you put on a jacket, it's if you're a real person, it's never going to be perfectly straight. What if that's what they were going for?
Well, I actually agree with you because, like, in No Sleep for Cranky, he's getting fitted for his new coat, but, like, when he heard the news, he leaves in a hurry.
Oh shit, you have a point.
So,
He never,
Oh
he
my
never
God,
got that new
it
jacket.
makes sense.
He never got his new jacket.
I opened the third eye again.
Alright,
Well-
maybe, but it still looks bad, though.
It does. It looks.
Yeah.
It is very OCD inducing.
I have a very weird history with this episode in particular.
This is the third time this episode has been hit in this series. Chocolate Crunch, Fogman, and now here.
And he puffed away.
My history with this episode is like, I only ever saw it on ABC, and before I got this DVD, I got that take-along toy of this episode and it came with the DVD, but it's Alec Baldwin's narration, so
Oh god.
I'm that little bit more used to Alec's narration of this episode, and I'm just like, why?
Do you know what would have been a good idea
What?
on that DVD? Have Brandon's narration.
I wish it was Brandon's narration. Holy shit.
It means that someone's too big for his buffers, teased Salty. Paw, said Gordon, and he puffed away.
I had that, and I didn't see the UK one for years, and for years I couldn't watch it because I was too obsessed with the Alec Baldwin one. But now I can't watch Alec Baldwin whatsoever.
Same.
Wait a minute, is this the only time we ever see, like, a flatbed with those giant-ass crates on it?
I think it is.
No, jet engine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jet Engine.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, sort of, yeah, I suppose. But still, like, that kind of, like, flatbed with those kind
That
of...
kind of, yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you might be right in that case. Hooray.
Hi, Spud.
Spud's better than this. That ain't Spud. That's knockoff Spud.
Yeah.
No, that's Wurzel Gummidge, man.
Yeah, it's what.
There you go.
There
There you go. Yeah.
Also, why is
Who's the
Gordon
boss?
still in Steam?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, here's the interesting thing. This is actually the first episode on the DVD not released on home media in Australia. 3 episodes in, and it's the actual first one they hadn't released.
Yeah.
Wow, way to go, ABC.
Yeah, well done.
Good.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh,
Fuck.
I know some of you guys really don't like this one. However,
No, I don't.
I tolerate it only for the crash and because some of the dialogue. That's it.
I'll just still never get over the fact that it was you that pointed out, Gianluca, was it that, this and Twin Trouble are basically the same episode, and I pointed out some time ago that, like, if you played the episodes at the same time, not only would the crashes happen at the same time, but at one point, they both say the same word at the same time if you're using Angelus's narration.
I'm going to get new buffers, he gloated to Bill. Well, I should get new buffers too, Bill complained.
I love how we had nothing to comment on that intro because it was just that fucking bland.
Yeah.
I remember the only way I could see this episode before this DVD was I had to get on one of the 2006 tapes Mum taped and record and like fast forward like 3 hours into it.
I still have strong memories of watching this before going to school. Like this episode in particular.
I remember liking this one a lot more as a kid.
I remember being upset that I couldn't find the episode on the tapes and said, "Where is it?" My mum taped too many.
This bit's funny though, I reckon.
Ooh, said Bill.
It's like the
Here's
bit
the
in
thing-
Harry Potter where they stick the wand up old mate's nose. The troll.
Bill tried thinking about birds.
Was he thinking about birds anyway? It's not very specific. It makes more sense in the English version. He's thinking about birds. He's thinking about women.
Oh yeah!
The birds love it.
I do love this line.
Poor Bill. He works, he suffers, while Benny's twin gets brand new buffers.
Angelus is just—he's funny. He's always funny.
Angelus is just at his peak in 6.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with this episode I'm noticing. Even though it's still not a very good episode, he's still a saving grace.
Oh, this line delivery.
Bust my buffers, cried Bill. I think you have.
It's such a great
That
line
is a good line delivery.
I love that he just kamikazed the truck. I know people don't like this episode, but I'll forever laugh at the fucking truck just getting slammed.
I know, right?
It is
I
funny.
know.
That part is funny.
I will say this about Buffer Mother. It may be, for me, the worst episode of the classic era. But saying it's the worst of the classic, it's still got some retaining qualities. Particularly
Yeah,
with the
it
UK
does.
dub.
It makes me sad because Ross Hastings is a great writer. He wrote Jet Engine and False
Oh, Jet Engine, exactly!
and Foley Whistles, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. Going from what a certain person wrote in their book about Series 6, is that this is most likely one of those episodes that was written within the 2 weeks before they started shooting. This was a very clear rush job.
I would agree. I would agree with that, Thomas.
The problem is
pretty
there's just
fair.
not enough substance to Buffer Bother to make it like truly interesting.
Toby had a little lamb. Oh, Toby, I'm sorry. That must have been painful.
It's Jen, he knows how you feel.
Henrietta's the mother.
No, I don't want to know how the sheep genes got in the train and the carriage, but, you know,
Yeah.
there must have been a threesome with the bat lamb from Series 5.
Probably.
What the fuck are we doing with our lives?
I question a lot, Joey.
Is that a narrow gauge signal box?
I think it is.
Like, it's as big as Toby, so it's gotta be.
I used to hate this episode when I was a kid. I thought it was boring, but then I remember like the bridge set and like physics and how Duck can't go on the bridge.
Yeah, I know.
I respect it a lot more now.
I feel the exact same, Joseph.
When I was a kid, I used to think that the music was there because they were going up into the mountains where Boulder was.
Let me ruin something for you. Duck's sandboxes are not the same color as the rest of them. Look
Oh
at
god,
sandbox
Thomas, you're
is
right.
color. You're welcome. Honestly, I look at Toby's cowcatcher and I just imagine it like it's like the fan of like an Xbox. And I'm just imagining, oh god, you're gonna have to blow that shit out, otherwise, oh, Toby's gonna jam up like.
Yeah, he'll get the
You know,
red
people-
ring.
He's gonna get red squared. He's the red square on his face.
I thought more of his lamp would turn red.
Yeah,
Oh, that's it.
That's-
There you go.
Yeah.
what happened to Toby? Why is this lamp red? Oh, it's the red lamp of death.
You know, people invest in that bluey Xbox. When are we getting the Toby Xbox?
Yes, the Xbox T, Toby.
The Xbox Tram.
the Xbox
Extra.
Tram.
Xbox
The
Tram.
Xbox Tram 7. The Xbox Tram 7.
Tram 7.
Okay, like the green thing that they headed towards. Every time I used to see that in Thomas, I always used to think, "Hey, it's one of Thunderbird 2's pods."
Oh my god.
Thunderbirds.
The stars align because David Mitten.
Yeah.
You'll notice Allcroft is credited on these, but on later masters she was taken off because she doesn't like 6 and 7, and at the time she was kept on as like a executive producer credit because it was her company, Gallane. Basically, she was just a glorified script consultant.
Oh, do I have a history with this episode?
Yep.
Boy, this episode.
Gianluca, why don't you give us your history with this episode?
Every time I saw it, I skipped this episode because I thought this was the scariest episode of Thomas.
Because of her screaming.
Yep.
I used to hate it because it was boring.
Gianluca, I just want to get that out of the way so that we can still keep making jokes like during this scene.
Yeah. I got over it.
This is the only episode Mum missed in my airings of 6 and 7. We got every other episode across the states, just
Oh,
not
God.
this one. But technically, this episode has been released on an ABC DVD.
Oh yeah.
ABC Kids Just for Fun compilation with Duncan, which is also on here, so that's nice.
So then technically,
This is such a fucking weird DVD.
So then technically, hang on, let's see. That's 4 episodes on this DVD that have already been released. What is this DVD?
It's like what they thought they hadn't released, but actually, I think these two are more excusable as, they weren't on Thomas releases. And I'm not going to count Gordon Takes a Tumble because that was not an ABC DVD. Those take-along sets were only available here by some sort of weird trade agreement.
Yeah, like they were literally imports from the States.
I liked Carlin on some of those.
I don't know what it is. I like the mouse just bobbling about like that. It's like a bobblehead.
Same.
I mean, look at it
I
dance.
want brushes of that.
It must have a little magnet under there or something.
Probably.
Or just like the ultra thin
Yeah.
string.
I can't possibly travel in a coach that riddled with a mice.
Am I the only one who never really understood what Alicia said?
Oh, no, I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
I must have been the only one then because of my Italian heritage.
Yeah, you would have gotten it, mate.
Gianluca, translate for us.
Now I want to know what the Italian dub for this episode is like.
Alicia Botti era furiosa. Non posso viaggiare in una carrozza infestata dai topi. Oh, ma che simpatica locomotiva verde! Esclamò Alicia Botti. Che carina! È tutta sporca, come tutte le locomotive a vapore.
Oh, they loved using this shot.
Oh my god, this shot is like a still, but there's a slight Ken Burns like zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Also, I'm convinced that Alicia's squeak is not an actual, mouse squeak. I'm convinced they just moved a chair in the office and we'll use that.
Or a door.
Yeah, or like a scraping a string on like a violin or something.
No, it's a cat scratching on the window.
Oh, yeah. It does sound very window-like, just...
It's been a bit since I've actually seen this episode.
Hey, it's the episode that I actually think is not too bad.
Here's an interesting theory I've been thinking about this episode over the last few days.
Hmm?
It's the only one written by David Mitten, and it's about an old character saying, oh, you should retire. No, we need to keep you. I feel like he was writing about himself, saying, no, I don't want to retire.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah.
And also, David Mitten always came across as like, I don't know if this is true or not, but I always got the impression that he loved Edward. It just seems like he'd be like, Edward was great.
My dad's favourite character is Edward.
He liked Edward, but definitely he loved Toby, though. That's a definite, though.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, I'm so sick of seeing this, like, blocking
Wait,
of
we
this
just
shot.
had Thomas posting a squeak. What the hell?
Yeah,
Wait,
it
it's
comes
literally
across
the
even
same
worse.
shots.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, and then it's only Snow at the same blocking, too.
and that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what? And wait. And what episode is in between this one in terms of airing? Jet Engine.
Motherfucker!
Oh yeah. I do like this episode. Like it's like they were trying to do that triple header railway series Christopher thing, but
Or,
like David.
I mean,
Super Rescue.
Super Rescue, yeah.
Yeah, Super Rescue. Look,
That's the
Edward
thing.
is the old one. He's super powerful. Hey, look, it's me, David Mitten.
I also want to point out, too, this is my favorite arrangement of Edward's theme. Look at Thomas and James are still sitting over there on the left.
Oh, yeah, that's
He had no
right.
work all day. That Gordon face looks like an old fella who's been wearing glasses too long.
You know what though, Joseph? I like your point though. It's a different way to think about this episode.
It is. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, it's very interesting.
Okay, so the next episode is Duncan. Still a funny name for the episode, I reckon, but let's see how this fares out, you know?
Hold on a sec. What?
Wait, it doesn't seem a bit out of sync.
Oh god.
Oh my,
Oh no!
holy,
That's actually terrible.
holy
I don't know how they did it. Like, they didn't air it like that, and it's not like that on the Just for Fun compilation. What the hell did they do to this in editing?
This was an episode I used to watch all the time as a kid.
Same, loved it. I gotta be honest, all those scenes of like where they show you like all those crashes he had, I always wanted to see those quote unquote episodes
Yeah,
because they're not
exactly.
real. But me as a kid thought they were.
Soon, Duncan had his 4 trucks.
Oh, the fucking sinking is awful.
The sync is bad, yeah.
it is distracting how bad it is.
It's Thomas and the Trucks level bad on Best of Thomas.
Yeah.
No, answered the cars, bumping into each other. Go on.
Man, I love this crash. It's one of my
Yeah.
favourites.
But we're gonna see it out of sync,
Where's-
sadly.
The weight, it suddenly snapped.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah. Why would anyone want to go fishing in that muddy mess?
I don't know, people are crazy, man.
I don't know, mudfish.
They just fish for worms.
So an interesting fact about this episode is that when we come to the editor credit, you'll notice it's not edited by John Wright. There's 2 episodes in Series 6 that were edited by Kate Buckland before she properly started in Series 7. This one and Rusty Saves the Day. And my suspicion is that they were done late, and they brought her in because either John Wright couldn't do it anymore, or she was an assistant editor or something, then she became the main editor. But I seem to be the only person who's ever noticed that's a different editor for this one and Rusty Saves the Day.
Oh, there you go.
Back to normal editing, thank God. No, sorry, normal thinking, sorry.
Yeah, the editor, she was a new editor, she wasn't that bad.
we can't blame her for the DVD being out of sync.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hey, was that water tower the one that Thomas knocked over?
Oh,
Jack's jacket's normal.
Wait, what?
Hey,
It
fix
is!
this jacket.
Or this actually takes place before everything.
Well, not this shot, but the one where you see him slide. There, look, he looks like a panda. That model of the Fat Controller resembles a
Yeah,
panda.
well, hold the
I still love, from that VHS tape of yours, Joseph, like, the line was closed and it cuts to something else.
Yeah, one of my tapes where I just ended the episode because I didn't want anything to do with it anymore.
He had made his mind up. There was nothing Rusty could do. The line was closed.
See, everyone complains about this episode because, oh, it fucks away with the continuity. I hate this episode because it's fucking boring.
Oh, that obvious photoshopped
I know
in.
too.
I never really said about Rusty Striver in that shot. He's just poorly photoshopped in. That's
It looks so wrong.
I don't like
Yeah,
this
so we-
episode.
I will
Such
admit,
a stinky episode.
I will admit though,
I know.
I will admit though, this bit I find funny.
Well, we do need a special kind of lorry, Rusty teased. I am a special kind of lorry.
That's another thing Series 6 does right, is this humour.
Significantly funnier, I'd say, than other seasons.
Oh, there's a lot of humour in it.
So you'll do it, said Rusty.
Just imagine Elizabeth sarcastically replying, saying, "Oh, no, sorry, Laurie, I can't pull things. My tyres broke."
Yeah, making up really dumb excuses. Or no, it's like, it's my fitter's orders. Wait.
Oh god, Daisy all over again.
Yeah, she just pulls a daisy on them.
No, she is Daisy. She's just to Daisy.
Yeah, she just transforms into Daisy.
Oh, look, he's in a normal jacket. Also, he's also incredibly shiny.
Yeah.
Also, yet again, edited by Kate Buckland, only 2 episodes in 6. I can't believe I was the first person to notice that. I love this episode. This would be in one of my top 10s. I'm the kid, the headmaster's pie.
That's canon. That is completely canon.
While he's not named in the episode, the headmaster's character name is Headmaster Hastings, named after Ross Hastings, the writer. He's named that in books and marketing and that. I wish they had named him that in the episode. It bothers me. I just think it's funny that the writer was so clever enough to put himself in an episode.
Oh, Joseph, honestly, that's one of my favorite things is when you see, like, little Easter eggs like that. Love the glasses. That's the best. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
The headmaster. This is Harry Potter glasses.
Also, apparently in the US one, there's missing music here.
For the rest of the day, Duncan didn't make a sound. But the headmaster's organ did.
For the rest of the day, Duncan didn't make a sound. But the headmaster's organ did.
Yeah, there's a signal box. That's the one that Toby approached.
Oh yeah, it is.
This is pie music.
I know.
I like that video of pianos played in real life. It's a guy just slamming his fist on the piano to this. It's the sad thing is it would never happen. They'd never let the guy sit on there while he's going over bridges and shit. And like a kid on there, but like it's just such a cool episode. I love it.
Hey, Joseph, I'm gonna say the classic line. They're taking creative liberties. Shut up.
I agree with you. I ignore it because I love this episode. Great episode, and if you notice, edited by John Wright.
John Wright.
Again.
Ah.
Oh god, the Series 7 intro does not work in 4x3.
This also pisses me off about the DVD because, like we mentioned before, we only had one Series 7 DVD until the complete collection. So, like, teasing us with just these 2 Season 7 episodes on this DVD is just like... Oh...
Well,
Come on.
I was happy because I always loved this episode, and the only way I could see it was on one tape my mum did. Only one. I remember for years of like, why can't I find the episode where Oliver almost gets knocked off the track? And I was so angry going through all the tapes, and then they finally released this DVD. I went, oh, there it is. So I will say, like, for all the flack we give this DVD, it filled a gap. Like,
Yes.
in Australia.
I noticed this. So, Series 7 seems to have a thing with gulls. Lots and lots of gulls just scattered everywhere. And it kind of clicked in my mind, and it's just a small theory, mind you. But do you think there's a lot of gulls as a tribute to the death and closure of Gull Lane?
You never knew it, but I was always there.
Oh my goodness. I think you're right. I dead ass think you're right. That's the kind of shit that would pull. I
Yeah.
think you're right, man. You're onto something.
Yeah?
I'm not even joking. I dead ass think you're serious.
I mean, if we've already agreed that Edward, the really useful engine, is a metaphor for David wanting to stay on the show, like, that theory you've just said, Thomas, makes sense as well.
This whole recording is just filled with conspiracy.
I know, but they're plausible ones, though. They're genuinely
they
plausible.
are.
Also, why is he
My boy-
pulling the
my boy
trucks?
Oliver.
Wasn't he meant to be pulling the carriages?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. The little guy's just standing there like, come on, crash. Ah, fuck. Damn.
I had $20 on that.
Yeah. I do like the little thing that Brandon did in his...
Thanks. We did it.
You were a
I like this episode a lot. It's a very good moral of don't judge people before you get to know them, similar to, like, Shrek. Yeah, I know, I'm bringing Shrek into Thomas. But, and also, I think Thomas fans are way too harsh towards Emily because they were too used to, oh no, that has to be boys only, or whatever, or oh
Yeah,
no, she
exactly.
replaced Duck. But I think Emily is a great character.
Emily has always been one of my favourite engines aesthetically.
Oh yeah, wonderful design.
And character-wise, I love her in Series 7. She's great.
Yeah, Series 7 is she's at her best because she really comes off as like either motherly or like that kind of mature big sister kind of character, which is so needed for the cast that we've grown up with for so long.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, God! Oh, Jesus, God! Oh, Mary, Mother of Jesus, Jesus of Nazareth!
I don't know, this episode's kind of boring, except for the bull, because the bull did that for no reason.
Do we explain the joke?
Yes. In Looney Tunes, there's a short where Bugs Bunny's
A bully
trying
for
to...
Bugs.
Yeah, that one, Bully for Bugs, with the bull. He's doing the bullfighting. And there's a bit where he beats the crap out of the man, not before Bugs has come in. And then the bull moves the abacus with his horn, like, to count the score. And a friend of mine, Dansky, said, the bull did that for no reason. And for a whole day, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. The next day, I said, Adam, what did you mean by that? And he said, oh, he moved the thing. Why did he do that? I'm like, to keep the score, you idiot! So now whenever there's a bull, we say the bull did that for no reason, which is kind of true. Like, he's just kind of chilling in the box fan for no reason.
Yeah.
As a kid, I saw Thomas in the birthday mail from Series 10. I always got disappointed that he didn't go fully into the mud pile that happened there. And when I saw this episode, I was like, yes!
Yeah, this one's the face full of chocolate cake episode.
One of the things I love about Series 7, which I'll just say for the sake of this series, I'm a Series 7 defender, don't at me.
Yeah, I honestly...
No, we're with you. We're with you.
I absolutely love how Series 7 in particular did, this kind of rainy day, foggy kind of thing. Like, they made it look so freaking real.
Yeah.
Insert the storm theory here.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I swear to God, I remember being one of the first to actually put the pieces together of Storm Theory. Then
I think it's actually very plausible, and I'm very anti-Thomas fan, conspiracy crap, but I do think it's a very plausible one, and that's a lot.
And I just like to think of it as a nice headcanon, you know? That was the pasture where Murdoch got stopped.
And Thomas covered in chocolate cake. And the bull did that for no reason.
He did for no reason.
The bull, you know what the bull actually, like, I translated he said, Thomas did that for no reason.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Rusty Saves the Day.
Well, you know my opinion. I think it was a great collection filler, but technically it has a lot of problems. I think people are harsh on it, but I also think some of that harshness is deserved. That's my
Yeah, I think with Rusty Saves the Day, I think it's not really on the quality of the episodes on them, because like they can very much range in quality. It's more bad in terms of its production quality.
Yeah, the technical aspects, like the sync and...
Yes.
You know what this release makes me think of, Joseph? This release makes me think of the Fun for Kids VHS tapes that were released here, like, later on. Like, because they had great shows, but they really had that feeling of, like, this is a quick budgeted release.
Release what we haven't done yet, we're going to lose the rights, and we don't care about these as much anymore.
Yeah, that's...
Mr. Squiggle, Johnson, Rocky and the Dodos, yeah.
Like, Cookies, well, like, just, like, yeah, that's what this release feels like to me. It feels like a DVD equivalent of those VHS releases.
Absolutely. I think that's what it is. And Thomas, of course, never had a Fun for Kids VHS, so here it is with its DVD of that caliber. Look, I honestly think, for me as a kid, it was a lifesaver. I could stop going through all those old tapes, but from a technical standpoint, it's got Duncan out of sync in there, and the half 16:9, half 4:3 aspect ratio that they add them in, which I cannot stand in
If we're talking about production quality too, I'm just looking at the back cover here of this release. Like, oh
yes.
God,
they pinched those from the very best of Thomas.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly what it is.
Yep.
They pinched them from very best of Thomas and Friends.
They did.
Oh my God.
The casing, the menu, the cropping, the syncing, it really is kind of fucked. in terms of the episodes themselves, because that's what we usually base these releases on, I think the best way to say it, Series 6 is only really saved by Angelus's narration, I've noticed. Like, I didn't hate Buffer Bother as much, and Very Useful Engine, and Saves the Day. It doesn't take away from the quality of the writing. I mean, Buffer Bother is still shit, and you have still got, again, Rusty Saves the Day, poor. As much as I don't mind it as a kid, I feel like Duncan is kind of a pacing issue.
Yeah, fair enough.
I see what you mean. I'll say this about this release, though. And to go back to what you said, I definitely do think a lot of these episodes come across as much more tolerable because it's not Baldwin. And I just want to point out just the weirdness of, like, the episode order. As soon as it gets to, like, Toby Had a Little Lamb, then after that it goes regular rest of way through airing order.
With the exception of Jet Engine.
But anyways, no, I think this, in terms of episodes on here, I still genuinely enjoy it. But going to Buffer Bother, though, I still will never really like that episode. And again, as we said before, the thing is like, it's not great, and it's probably the worst episode of the classic series. But again, worst episode of the classic series is still nowhere near the worst episode of the show.
It's not Thomas's Frosty Friend level bad. But then again, I think, Sam, you said this earlier, like, I can see what you mean with the whole teasing you with the 2 Series 7 episodes. They feel so out of place there.
They really do. Like, it's good to have them on there because, like I said, we only got that one release until the complete collection. So it's good to have them on there. Yeah. But at the same time, it's just, to me, it was them being like, oh, we got to have it be 60 minutes, not 50 minutes like the tapes used to be. What can we throw in? We've ran out of Series 6 episodes. Well, why not just throw these 2 on there from Series 7? Oh, yep, they'll fill it.
It makes me think they were going to do, like, another volume with more 7.
I wish they did, even if the production on those would have been cheap like this DVD was. I wish they honestly did.
I'm glad they put the Series 7 on there, because I remember shaking my fist for years saying, where is the episode with Emily and Oliver? I was so angry. I couldn't find it on my tapes. It took me until 2020 to rediscover that recording. And by then, I had watched the complete Series 7 DVD a million times.
Jeez.
And by then, I was not a kid anymore. I was a grown man.
Were Australian releases usually this bare bones in terms of content?
I wouldn't say so. Australia and the UK kind of had similar, like, releases, basically.
Back in the day, Britt Allcroft used to basically say, I'd like you to base it off our releases in here in England, what we're doing. And then occasionally we'd get our own ones, and then once Ghislaine took over, ABC just started doing their own sort of thing. And also, remember another thing about this DVD, Bulgy episode wasn't on it. Bulgy rides again, and I was still angry about that. I was shaking my fist about that one.
On the whole, Rusty Saves the Day, it was good for the time, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Time and the region, yeah.
But it's the quality of the release in terms of presentation rather than, like, the quality of the episode. So if it had a little bit more tweaking to the quality of the presentation, I would have given it a 5 out of 10, but due to the bad syncing on Duncan and the very hastily put together menu and cover, I'd probably give this a 4.5 out of 10.
Oh.
Okay, so going back to in terms of overall production quality of what we have here, because there's no description on the back either. This is just has episodes and nothing else.
Yeah, it's literally just the episodes and those 3 pictures taken from the best of Thomas.
Jesus Christ. Okay, obviously, presentation quality is absolutely abysmal. There's no getting around that. But honestly, considering I only don't like maybe like a handful of episodes on here, and since Joseph mentioned, like, you know, a point about Edward's Really Useful Engine, I'm really starting to come around to liking that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Rusty Saves the Day, Buffer Bother, and It's Only Snow are all just kind of like mid to bad. So I guess, honestly, if I had to give a score to this, I'd consider this like a 5 out of 10. Like, the episode quality, I'd say, like, saves it pretty well. But again, like, presentation quality, Duncan being out of sync, it kind of weighs it down a lot. So I'd say somewhere in the middle for me.
I think I would have to agree with Thomas on this one because you do honestly have, like, a decent selection of episodes, even if it's ones that we've already seen here on previous Australian releases. It's like, oh, hi again. What the hell are you doing here again? While it is a tease, it is good, again, to have 2 Series 7 episodes that we didn't have previously. The episodes being cropped is also a bit weird. It's a bit, how do you do? Like, you do have good episodes, but it's production, not just in the episodes, using the crop versions, Duncan being distractingly out of sync. It's just like, how the hell did that even happen? And just like the presentation of the DVD, like from its menu, its cover design and whatnot, it really does feel like a rush job, and like Thomas definitely deserved better than that, even if it's like, it doesn't have the soul that it would have, that other Thomas releases here in Australia would have. So, you know, honestly, I would give it a 4 or 4.5.
Well, man, these are all pretty interesting ratings, because you're going to find mine interesting. Now, look,
will hit us with it.
You know my stance. I've got a personal story with this DVD. Bought it on release day, like 90% of all Thomas DVDs here. So we'll start with the presentation. It's pretty poor. It's very... These are the broadcast masters we've got. 14:9, slap them on. And then something happened to Duncan. I don't know how they messed that up, but they did. And they've just used the basic stock key art from the Thomas style guides. But at the same time, it's also straight to the point where we've delayed releasing these episodes. We really need to get these out there. We're going to lose our rights or whatever. They just did a straight to the point release. They picked episodes that they thought they hadn't released, except 4 of them they had. I still can't get over that. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. But to me as a kid, as somebody who, you know, I did not personally enjoy... I love the fact that Mum taped all these episodes for TV. I'm very grateful. To this day I am. You know, I didn't enjoy having to seek through with no episode list to go off and say, where is this one? Where is that one? I don't understand. And then when this DVD comes out, I'm like, hey, look, there's a chunk of them that I didn't have on the tape. I didn't know where they were, and including the Emily episode. With all that in consideration, sorry, brothers, it's going to get an 8 out of 10 from me.
Wow.
8? Wow, 8, wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for this release, despite it being really pooey and all that stuff. You know, it was a lifesaver. Despite all its flaws, I kind of owe the ABC for this one.
You're absolutely entitled to that, Joseph. We can't take that away from you.
You know, for its time period, when this DVD came out, it really was a collection filler, and I was so happy.
Now I feel like kind
you
of
know what, Joey?
score.
Yeah, that's making me change. I'm going to change mine. I'm actually going to change it back to... I'm actually going to put it what I was originally going to give it. I'm going to give this a 5.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's generous, mate. That's generous.
Yeah, again, that's what I said, 5. I think 5, like, it's got good, but again, just some slight things hold it back. I stand by what I said, but I will concede it. It is a pretty decent release.
Yeah, I respect your opinions as well.
It's the most middle of the road.
I'm gonna change it up to 6 out of 10.
That's pretty good. Like, you guys are pretty harsh critics, so that's pretty high praise for a release like this.
It's held back by its minimalist kind of rush production, but like, it's good to have for the sake of like, now I've got this on a non-complete compilation kind of thing.
Taped off the TV.
Oh, taped off the TV in your case, yeah.
This question only really applies to me and Thomas. In terms of ranking, where would the two of us rank this? Because I'm thinking this goes under the Fogman, but above Snowy Surprise.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, I'd say it goes between Fogman and Percy Saves the Day. Well, here's the way I look at it. The season 6 episodes we have in Fogman, I mean, because you have like Salty Secret and such, which are like really great episodes, but you also have some pretty good bangers on this release too. And considering it's Michelangelos versus Angelus, in more episodes too, I myself think it goes just above Fogman.
I wants to give it a Rolf out of 10.
Now that you say it, I think actually, because like on Fogman, there's 5 episodes I like. In this, I think there are more episodes that I genuinely like. So no, I think I'm going to change up to a 6 out of 10. No, 6.5 out of 10, because there's more episodes that I like from Series 6, and I'm going to put it above Fogman.
Oh,
jeez. It's like the guys on MasterChef that are like 11 out of 10.
Yeah. And Joey is the epiphany for this release.
Well, I feel honoured. The best way to sum up this release in one sentence: you kind of just had to be there in Australia at the time, and you would understand why it exists.
Oh, that's
for me.
So spot on.
My final sentence on Rusty Saves the Day: take it with a grain of salt.
I'd say that's fair to say, yeah.
So, that concludes our first Australian release.
Hooray!
Hopefully it won't be the last.
What are we gonna do with the dead body laying
Yeah.
over there? Are we gonna address that?
Oh yeah,
I was about to say,
right.
so one of you guys has got to give Percy CPR or some shit.
Oh fuck!
all right.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
All right, Sam. Thanks. Go do it. Let's see if we
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Just because I'm an angel, folks. Fuck's sake.